I was not expecting fog this morning, and it's not a very thick fog, but it's fog nevertheless, and I never say no to fog. So even though I'm still kind of far away from my destination for today, I still have like an hour and 20 minutes drive to get there. I came here to this lake a couple days ago. I made a few images, and I thought that it would be a good idea to stop real quick and make some images with this fog. So I'm trying to get a long exposure of that sign for boats there. I got the same image a couple days ago, but now with the fog it should look much better. There we go. I think that we could do even a longer exposure here. So this was a 50-second exposure. I'm gonna try like a minute and a half, something like that, and I can see that my lens is getting all wet from the fog. So I'm gonna put this camera away for 1 sec. So I'm still here working the same composition with the sign. The fog is clearing up real quick and I don't see any other composition around here. So what I'm trying to do now is I lower the tripod. As you can see, I'm using just one section of the legs instead of the two of them. And the reason for that is because I was getting the water behind the sign, and I wanted to contrast that sign with the white background of the fog. I hope it makes more sense when I show the images. And what I'm trying to do here is between 1 and 2 minute long exposures, and I think it's working, and I think I might have an image for this morning already, so that's pretty nice. Even though I should wait until I see that image in my computer, I'm gonna call this stop a success. I think it goes to show that you have to be flexible on your plans. And I was not planning on stopping here this morning, but the fog kind of changed everything. And I'm glad I did change my plans slightly because I'm still going to the place I was planning on going. But I think I got a nice image already, a nice image that I was not counting on, and that's very good news. Alright, so it's so windy outside, but I just made it to my destination for today. This is called the Bay of Arcachon, or something like that, in southwest France. And I just drove an hour and a half here for only one reason, and it's I think they are called the oyster parks or something like that. This is where oyster farms, this is where they farm them and where they grow them. I want to make some images of those oyster beds or oyster pools. The thing is that the tide is still not low enough. It's 10 a.m. The tide is gonna be the lowest at 10:37, so I still have 33 minutes more to go. But as of right now, there is a lot of water. It's not passable for me. I do not have the equipment. I don't have boots or anything like that. So everything I can do right now is just hope that that little pass opens when the tide is a little bit lower. I might have found a way to get there without getting wet. I'm still not 100% sure though, and I will have to walk at least a mile to get there, but worth it. So let's try.
Close all the curtains, stay on the phone. We are the monsters, holding you still. We are the gallows up on the hill. Answer the question, is God on your side? We'll be together, weather rebel tide. We are the monster, there's no place to hide. We're under your bed, we hide in the dark. We are the monster, an army of one. We are the monster, a hole in the sun. To the beginning, we are the end. Hold on to nothing, there's nothing we've lost. As you fall in love, we make you fall deep. We are the monster, 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 we are the monster.
So windy. I hope you can hear me, but yeah, I was completely unprepared for this location. I didn't read it right. It was very windy and noisy out there, so I'm just gonna repeat myself from the car. This location is amazing. It's one of those spots where I could spend hours looking for compositions and making images. I love it. The problem is this morning, as you could see, the tide was low. I thought that that was the best thing for this location, and it's not entirely true. It could be true if I had two things that I'm missing. One of them is boots. I really need boots. Someone told me once to buy boots. I don't remember who, but yes, I do need them. I need to buy boots and leave them in the car because you never know when you are going to run in a situation like this one. They would have been very useful this morning because if I could have gone 3, 4, 5, 6 feet in the water, that would have made a huge difference in my compositions this morning. And the other element here that would have been very useful, it would have been an ultra wide lens. I don't have any. The wider I can go is 24mm equivalent in 35. My lens is 16, so for APS-C is like 24. And yeah, that kind of sucked for this location because for that kind of images that I was trying to make, slightly wider lens would have been pretty good. Another problem about the images that I made this morning is that this place, this is a bay, so no matter where I was placing myself, I would always have the other side of the bay as the background of my images unless I was pointing down. That's something I don't like. That's why I stopped by the lake this morning, because it was foggy, so that removed the other side of the lake from the images, and I think that made the images much better than the ones I took a couple days ago where you can see the other side of the lake. For the same reason as before, it adds mystery and drama to the photo. You don't know what's beyond, so that's something that I really like. I'm not done with this location yet though. I realize now this is my first time here, so after a while here, after a few hours, I know now that there is more potential for me, for the equipment that I have here and for the gear that I have. If I try to make images at high tide, when the water is starting to cover those oyster beds and leaving just the sticks sticking out of the water, I'm gonna head back there in a while. Hopefully the water is higher now and I can make some more long exposures. I'm gonna run into the same problem with the background. I'm gonna have the other side of the bay there with houses and everything, so that's a problem. That's what I'm gonna do, just wait it out a little bit and go back there. Alright, these conditions are much better for me. I can take photos from here, take my time and compose. So I've started with this. It's just a bunch of sticks, but I try to find some balance between the amount of sticks in the foreground and the background. And what I did now is I lowered the tripod again, like this morning. In this case is to put the horizon in the middle of the frame, and the sticks it would be splitting the sticks in half too. So like the bottom half of the stick would be on the bottom half of the frame, and the top half of the stick would be on the top half of the frame, hopefully. And that's the idea. I think that would look pretty good. And I'm obviously taking that shot later because it looks amazing. All right, back at the car. I just wanted to give you 2 tips when you're shooting on the beach or some place that is sandy like dunes or something, the tripod, when you fold it, don't fold it all the way, you know, to where the clamps are. It's pretty hard to show you. Leave a little bit of room there between the part that is covering in sand and the clamps, because if the sand gets in there, you'll probably have to, I don't know, dismantle the whole tripod and clean it. Talking about cleaning the tripod, I recommend using this thingy, the rocket blower thing. Hey, focus. It's not perfect, but it might save you some time in the future. So that was fun. I think I got a few images that I'm gonna like. It got sunny at the very end, so yeah, I couldn't find any more compositions, and the tide was getting higher and higher. So I'm happy with today. I think that the lesson learned today is that it's very important to be flexible. So I stopped by that lake, and I think I made one image that I'm gonna like there. And then I came here with the idea of shooting this place in low tide, but I think that I got more images, or images that I'm gonna like more now in the afternoon with the high tide. So yeah, it's all about being flexible and adapting to the situation. The landscape and the weather is not gonna adapt to you. So yeah, now I have to leave because I've spent the whole day here. It's almost 4 p.m. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching again, and see you in the next one.